Welcome to the Introvert Sisters, the podcast by introverts for introverts, hosted by Sharon and Lisa, two INFJs with a lot to say.
Hi, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Lisa.
And together,
we're the Introvert Sisters.
Welcome back to our podcast. And we're going to kick things right off with Introverts uniting separately. Our chance to catch up and shoot the breeze.
Yep.
And I'm just going to say this has been a weird summer. You could call it a summerless summer. Yep. So what are you missing the most, sis? What have you found that you're doing without?
As much as I don't really enjoy crowds, as you know, I've missed sort of being out in the world and there being at least a little bit of atmosphere. I haven't gone to the parks. I haven't done any of that stuff. Definitely no travel, which I'm comfortable with from a health perspective, but I'm uncomfortable with because I love to travel.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm still not getting on a plane with those crazy non-mask wearing people. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
But it's been weird because normally we've been traveling since before. I think I had a passport as a babe in arms, and we've been traveling constantly ever since then.
You have been traveling since before you could walk. Honestly.
Yes. Yeah. And same for you, I suspect. And so, I mean, because you guys normally travel during summer as well, right?
We normally travel during summer. We have gone to visit you. We have gone to Florida, which is currently a no-fly zone as far as I'm concerned. We have gone to England a few times. Mm-hmm. Yeah, low down on the list at the moment as well. I just don't see, it's been that kind of summer where nobody went anywhere.
Yeah.
Right? And even as places started to open back up and hotels started welcoming guests, there was always this, how much time do you want to spend in the company of strangers who may or may not be wearing masks, who may or may not have come from countries where they have not got a handle on the coronavirus? And the answer to that is none.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And then
the US still does not have, a handle on it after all this time. And anyway.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into how the orange one has been mishandling the whole thing.
We will not get into that.
We're not going to get into that. But that's part of the reason. Like, nobody wants anybody from America near them right now. That's basically it.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, the good thing, it's been a normal summer in that, of course, the weather has been great. So it's been good to go outside and experience some sunshine and some hopefully fresh non-corona air. Who knows?
Who knows?
Let's call it fresh air for now.
Who knows?
Fresh adjacent.
Yes, and then festivals. This year, Kadooment was cancelled.
Yeah.
My popover was cancelled.
Listen, because I know Bajans, from the time the announcement first came out, Bajans were mourning over that. But to actually experience, the Kadooment day with nothingness.
It's unthinkable. For those who don't know, this is the annual carnival celebration in Barbados that runs for much of the summer and culminates in early August. And it was all cancelled because
every single thing. It
had to be cancelled.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. And of course, from your perspective, there's...
Yeah, I mean, there's Afropunk, or rather there was no Afropunk. There was absolutely none. But most of the festivals, the big summer festivals, all the music festivals, all of them got canceled. Yeah. But Afropunk is my thing. I love it. And
you ruled it last year.
Oh, thanks.
You ruled it in your blue and yellow, in your white with the crown.
Thank you.
Teen Vogue, Essence, all the big publications from around the world, in fact.
Oh, yeah. Women's Wear Daily, all kinds of stuff.
The coverage was amazing.
It was amazing.
You really ruled AP last year.
Thanks, sis. But yeah, so, I missed that. as much as I don't like crowds, Afropunk kind of works for me. Of course, there are a lot of people there, but it's so spread out.
Mm-hmm.
You can still sort of carve an area for yourself. By the time the crowds start gathering, it's sunset and everybody's pressed up against the stage, I'm already gone.
Of course.
I'm not getting into that. But while it's daylight, you can walk around and make your own space.
Yes.
I enjoy that and enjoy the atmosphere. So I definitely miss that this year. And I know at the beginning of summer, everybody was wondering, and people like you and I, bloggers and writers were writing about, okay, what kind of summer are we going to have, and what's next? What's the alternative if you don't want to fly or so on?
Yes. And
why not take a road trip? Now, two things. You in Barbados. I'm like, there's road trips and there's road trips.
Yeah.
I hear road trip and I think something of multiple days, hundreds of miles, etc., etc. And Barbados is 166 square miles in total. So there's but so far that you can go. There's but so far that you can go on a road trip. So I don't know. I mean, did you guys do any alternatives like that? Were there more beach picnics? I have no idea. I'm just asking. I don't know.
Well, I think a lot more people took advantage of the fresh air and the beach. I think, with the distancing requirement cut a little bit from 6 feet to 3 feet.
Right.
Then I think
Big
that's
mistake,
what it was.
but
Yeah.
that's
So
my opinion.
Well, at the time that it was cut, the island was corona free. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it became even more possible to do something where, you didn't have to be yelling when you were socializing.
Right.
And I think people took advantage of open air spaces, basically. I nobody was really feeling the let's gather in small rooms and party thing.
No.
People were still being mindful of the fact that this thing is out there, and that as much as we think we know about it, there's still a lot to learn because it's so new.
Exactly.
Okay? And of course, the other alternative to that, if you're in a small place, is to do virtual tours. But nothing replaces the sights and the sounds in real life and the smells, whether you like them or not. Right?
All part of the atmosphere and all part of the
atmosphere. So I don't know. I think for many of us, especially if we're, for us introvert types, it gives us the chance to be more introverted, to stay home and enjoy home, to read, to listen to music, to watch television, that kind of thing. I don't know what you think looking back on summer now, if was that what your summer was like?
Yeah. And I was okay with that. I was totally fine. Like I said, missed Afropunk. That's one festival. That's like 2 days out of my life every summer,
Yeah.
But in general, as you know, I'm a very quiet person. I'm 1,000% a homebody in general.
Yeah.
And so I was more than happy to sort of install myself on my couch every weekend and remain there until Monday. And I have a dog, as you know, so every day I do get some outside time every day. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
Because were it not for him, I would just probably have spent literally the entire summer in the house without ever leaving.
Wow.
Entirely possible.
Wow.
But I walk him a few times a day. And so, I went out, got some fresh air. But generally, I was home by myself. Did a couple of virtual tea parties with some friends of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is nice.
No, they're sweet. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But generally, no, I was by myself. I'm perfectly happy. Can I just say, speaking of which, that leads us quite nicely into the next segment, right? Talking about things that make introverts happy and, as I call them, introvert love languages. So in our world, that is our next segment. And we want to go into, in our world, what are introvert love languages? And for those who are not familiar with the term love languages, it actually comes from a book by author Gary Chapman called The 5 Love Languages.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please. And so the 5 love languages, according to him, are words of affirmation, quality time, giving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. So one day I was kind of just going over in my mind, oh, what would be cool and interesting for us to talk about as we do. You know, we're always exchanging ideas about that, right, sis?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. And, you know, I'm all about, you know, I'm a romantic and I'm all about relationships, you know, but I have a very, very silly side as well. And I thought, wow, you know, it would be kind of funny to, for us to discuss as introverts, what are our introvert love languages?
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
Right. So I can start.
Yes, please do. Please do. I want to hear what your love languages are.
Okay, so as an introvert, my 5 love languages, the very, very first one is quiet.
Oh, yes.
Just please give me some time, give me some space with no yakking, no ambient noise, no noise from humans, no noise from anything, just complete quiet, right?
Okay.
A little bit of sensory deprivation almost.
I get that.
Because actually, I remember way back. Remember when I used to work at Almond
Yes.
Beach, right? And they had a sauna. Sometimes I would like work a double shift, so I
Right.
had a break in between. And what I would do is I would go into the sauna because, of course, you know, it's dark, it's warm, it's dark, it's private.
It's a cocoon.
It's a cocoon. No noise. You know, of course, back then I didn't know I'm an introvert and I'm probably like overly stimulated by too much input from
Yes.
the world, having worked,
You
know,
just
8 to
knew
10
that when
hours
you
already.
went in there, you felt better.
Ooh! And how? Just such relief to my senses. So quiet is number 1, my first love language. Number 2, which will relate back to what we were discussing just now in the first segment, is quality time at home.
Yes, very important. Very important.
I love my home. My home is my sanctuary. It is my haven. It's set up just how I love it. There's food here. There's entertainment here. There's my puppy dog. There's books. There's everything I need. And also the lighting levels are how I like them
Yes.
because of my eyes. And so, yeah, quality time at home. It's my thing. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Okay.
Right? My third love language is comfort.
All right.
I think, and let me explain. I think I also, if I were to actually do a test, which I probably should do, you and I should do it one day, a highly sensitive person test and see where we fall on that. A lot of introverts can be HSPs as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I suspect that I'm one because I get very, I don't know, I suffer from sensory overload. Sounds very melodramatic, but I don't think you can suffer from it, but you understand what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, if there's too much input, it's just is too much for me.
Yeah.
Right. So and also even you know, like tactile things, like, you know, surfaces and how they feel and how clothing feels on you. So anything that is soft, comfy, smooth, cushions, blankets, silk clothing, I'm just saying.
Oh, was that a hint?
Just throwing that out there.
Do you remember when silk shirts were in fashion?
I remember we had all of them.
In every color. In every color.
Every single color. Oh my God, but it feels so good against the skin. It really, really does. It feels beautiful. It does. Yeah. The fourth one for me is food. Mm-hmm. Again, you know, I don't know that needs a lot of explanation. Right?
I think not.
Food is love. I think this is universal. And you know, I have evidence thereof over the course of this pandemic because I'm growing fluffier and fluffier every day. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And then my fifth love language, I would say, is empathy coupled with action. By which I mean, you like that one?
I like that one. Explain.
Okay, so like, let's say you're going through a situation or something, and you know, it's easy to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I totally understand," etc., etc., etc. Sometimes that is all that is needed. but there are times when the person on the receiving end actually wants some help of some kind. And so I like it when you go beyond to at least ask the question, is there anything that I can do to help? And if the response is in the affirmative and you agree to do it, then do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so empathy coupled with action is a big, big one for me. And, I'm lucked out because my family, you guys, I think that's sort of our default.
Yes.
We care for each other. We're concerned about each other, and we follow up with each other. How are you doing? I sent you XYZ. Did this help? Here's a suggestion. And some people, everybody's different. Again, this is my love language. Some people might find that intrusive. Some people might interpret that as controlling, or somebody trying to give them advice they didn't ask for, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah.
For me, it lands upon me as genuine caring, because beyond just making the ooh, oh, I'm so sorry noises, like you're actually trying to help. So I love that.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. So what are yours?
So mine are, well, I had it in position number 5, but I'm just going to get it out of the way because it's the one we share, which is food.
Right.
When someone creates a nice meal for you, or just in terms of, being part of a social setting,
Yes.
So that I really, really enjoy. But as you said, it doesn't require a lot of explanation. So I'm not going to say any more about that. Words of affirmation, words that inspire. And usually that's about reading, okay? Which basically means that, I don't necessarily need anyone to supply that love language. Although, having said that, people have given me over the years, you, other members of the family have given me books that have really meant something to me. And this does not mean that they're particularly self-help or spiritual. Sometimes it's a novel. And, sometimes all you need is that one phrase that sticks with you.
Yes.
And it makes the whole book worth it. That one thing that you take away.
Yeah.
And so that for me is very important. I'm a wordsmith. I live, breathe words. I like words at leisure. So
exactly.
Words are important. Time alone as well to decompress, often with a book. Yeah. I like listening to
What other ways do you decompress other than reading? I know reading is a big one for you. I'm just curious.
Reading.
Reading. Reading.
Sometimes watching something silly on television.
Right.
Something that, it depends. If I'm decompressing, I don't necessarily watch something that requires a lot of concentration. So that is not the time for me to watch the in-depth documentaries, which come into a different setting. So it's sometimes about choosing the material you need at a given time. Okay.
Right.
If I'm decompressing, I might choose a beach read rather than a murder mystery. Okay. Although
wait, hold on. What is a beach read?
A beach read is something.
If I go into Barnes and Noble, is there going to be a section that says beach reads, and what is in there?
When they have their summer promotions and they have their chick lit and they have good books to read by the pool. The kind of thing that is so fluffy that if it falls in the pool and you don't get to finish it, it won't matter. But
you're still looking cute in your swimsuit.
I don't think that's how they would characterize it, but it's something that you don't have to take too seriously for me.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
I don't usually read beach reads on the beach, it has to be said, but the point is the same.
Yes.
The point is the same. Yes. Side note, when you live in a tropical paradise, there are a lot of things you don't do at the beach that people think you do at the beach, because basically you don't want sand in everything. End of side note.
You get very practical with it.
You do. I remember, and I know this is slightly off topic, people saying, oh, you're freelancing in Barbados, so do you take your laptop down to the beach and work? And I'm thinking, no, are you crazy? You know what would happen to my laptop if I got sand in it? No.
Not to mention the constant exposure to basically 100% pure salt air.
Yes.
You
I'm
would
just
be
asking for
replacing
rust.
your laptops every 4 months.
Asking for rust.
Yep.
No. So no. Okay, anyway, back to the forgive that segue, faithful
We do love a good
listeners.
segue though, don't we? A
Back,
sidebar.
yes, back to the love languages. Hanging out with special people in small numbers. And sometimes that can be one other person. Okay?
Oh, really?
So, yes.
And
So
who
for
might that be?
example,
I'm just kidding.
when we go for our morning walks when you're visiting,
I know. It's
right,
my
that's
favorite
really
thing.
that is one of the best things.
Yes.
You know, if I'm sitting talking to a member of my family, and you know, it's funny because sometimes we can all be sitting down together, but then those conversations that you have one-on-one are equally important. Sometimes, you know,
Of course.
those are the where, you know, those are sometimes where the magic happens.
Well, yes, getting back to our morning walks around the golf
Yeah.
course. I mean, we have solved world problems. We have launched new careers. We have
Come up with podcast ideas.
we've come up with podcast ideas. You know, we've done so much, but then sometimes we're talking. Sometimes though, it's just us walking around silently, just enjoying each other's energy, and it's wonderful.
Yes, and related to that, deep conversations about things that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those often happen one-on-one, although they can happen in slightly smaller groups. I mean, the numbers thing is real. Okay, I am not I don't want a panel of 20 people. Okay,
No.
I'm talking my group of friends, my biggest group of friends that I socialize with tends to be 4 or 5 people in total.
Wow. Yeah.
I have another bigger group, you know, my fitness group, but you know, we're not always in the same country. So, you know, you might get 10 or 11 people. Bigger than that, that does not fall under the love languages banner. That falls under the I love you people, so I'm going to get together with you, but then I'm going to need 2 days to decompress banner. Right?
For sure.
So that is it for my love languages. And I think
that's a good list. I'd be interested to hear how, you know, other people rank, other introverts, what they say their love languages are, how they rank them, you know. So any of you listening, like, you know, please feel free, you know, when we post this, drop a line, drop a comment, drop a review, etc.
All of that stuff.
But yeah, let us know what your love languages are.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. And on that note, thank you so much for listening to another episode, and we will catch you the next time. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to the Introvert Sisters. Loved what you heard? You can catch all our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and all other major platforms. Subscribe, rate, and write a review. Find us online at theintrovertsisters.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Introvert Sisters. See you next time. Peace.